Yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time where which you're connecting with us live this morning. And you will know that I'm a Christian and I'm born again. So I want to thank God Almighty for giving us the privilege for seeing today. It's not because we are handsome, it's not because we are beautiful, but because of God's grace. And this is why each time I'm privileged to see a bright new day, I say, thank you, God, for giving me this privilege. See this bright new day. I know you can see on set, you can see two handsome men. They're finer than me, but I'll work on myself soon. You can see two handsome men on the screen with me, and it's our usual program that we run every Saturday titled Teach a Farmer. You will bear witness that one of the major reasons why agriculture has failed to prove the results that it's much expected, it is because experts that studied agriculture have really not invested so much. More importantly, the agriculture extension officers. More importantly, many of us have not taken time to carry out the practices to ensuring that we give back what we've learned in school to help farmers improve their cultural practices. And as such, so many people have gone into farming and they have excuses about how they failed in the business and then they ran away. And today they are testifiers that agriculture is not a booming business. But that's not true. There are people who have been in the space for a couple of years and they've been successful. And this is why this program is for you. Teach a farmer. So I'm not the one teaching you. No, we have people who are on the field who are practicing agriculture. And as far as we're concerned, they are successful farmers. And so with me this morning, I have Mr. Nicholas. Mr. Nicholas, you're welcome. You say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
All right. And I have my father also with us this morning, Mr. Agwebo. You're welcome, sir.
God bless you. You are welcome. I say hi to every one of you over there.
All right. So, sir, can you tell us what farm are you into? Plantain farm, vegetable farm?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I'm into plantain
All right.
and vegetable.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
basically.
Plantains and vegetable, basically. All right, Daddy.
Actually, I largely into plantain farm.
Wow.
Plantain multiplication.
Mm.
That's my focus.
Wow.
I believe in getting one thing done at a time and possibly over time to diversify.
Wow. Wow.
So God bless you.
All right, you're welcome, sir. So this morning, sir, I have questions that audiences, viewers have asked me, and I'm like, okay, fine. I have the answers, but I have to go and meet people who are already practicing on the field. So I'll start with Mr. Nicholas.
Yep.
Sir, in plantain farming, what exactly do one need to start the business?
Well, as it pertains farming,
Yes, sir.
first and foremost, you need funds.
Okay,
And then,
finances.
yes, finance. And then you need the right attitude towards farm. You
Okay.
really need to be committed to doing it.
Right
You need
attitude
right
towards
attitude towards
farming.
farm, yes, because sometimes it can be very frustrating, especially when the fund is not there. Now, even when the fund is there and you don't have the right attitude, it's still
Yeah.
going to be frustrating.
Wow.
Depend on the kind of crops you're into.
Okay.
So, when it comes to plantain farm,
Yeah.
you need first the financing
Yeah.
and then a space.
Okay, that's the land.
Yes, the land. A
Okay.
good arable land where you can farm plantain, because of course it's not everywhere you can put your plantain and
Yeah.
it will flourish. No, you need to look for a good arable land where you
Okay.
can put your plantain.
Yeah.
And if you have that in place and the right attitude is there,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
So now, okay, sir. Let's also hear from Daddy.
Well, I'm as old as the sister.
Oh.
Like he said, funding is a primary factor
Okay.
in plantain farming. Again and again, you need land.
Okay.
Land. Some of the problems here is that this inheritance of a thing. At times you come around, they will tell you it's not for Mr. A, it's for Mr. B.
Okay.
So if you are going to do well, you should have money to buy your own space of land.
Okay.
It might not be too large. You will start from somewhere.
Okay.
That is the first challenge. But like you said too, you should have flair,
Okay.
strong flair for agriculture.
The attitude
The
as well.
attitude as well. You understand? Yeah, you should have that, because if you don't, if you are not backed up with right attitude, definitely you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
That is the truth. At times there could be some ups and downs, hazards and all that. But the important thing, because you have strong flair for it, you stay put.
Okay, so sir,
Yes.
I have a
Yeah.
little question.
Yeah.
Oh, when we're talking about land, and how about for startups, people who are just trying to start the farming
yeah.
business? Do I need to buy a land, or I
No,
can also
you don't.
lease a land?
You don't have to. You
Okay.
could always lease. Yes.
Okay.
You could always lease. But he just mentioned a problem now,
Okay.
which is most times a recurring decimal in farming. If you have a land dispute in a
Yeah, in a
particular area,
community.
yes, it's not a nice place to invest.
So that means one must take research
Yes,
to understanding the
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
where which you are
Exactly.
going to
I
invest in.
think if I might
Exactly.
chip in
Yes.
something there, actually, there is what you call feasibility study.
True.
You just have to do that. You do feasibility study on the community, even on the community, how you get land, on your farm practices and all that.
Yeah.
It is when you have done that you can go out to say, okay, let me start. You must not start large, actually.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, you can lease.
Okay.
Your lease tenureship could be for 5 years.
Okay.
It could be for 10 years.
Okay.
Could even be for 2 years
It
or
could
a
be
year.
for, depending on the
community as well. Too.
But basically, it is difficult to lease lease a land for plantain farming for less than 4 or 5 years, because it will not start producing the first year until after maybe 11 months, 12 months,
12
and
months.
thereabout.
Yes.
So that is the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, leasing of the land, for example, an acre, how much do you think it costs, sir?
It depends on the community as well, but right now the average amount is 10,000 naira.
Okay, to lease
To
1
lease
acre,
1
right?
acre.
For 1 year.
Minimally.
Yes.
For 1 year.
Yes. Yes.
10,000. So, viewers, you can hear at least to lease an acre,
10,000 naira.
and depending on the community.
Yeah.
So probably you could go to some
15.
community and you could see 15.
Yeah.
You could go to some community and you could probably see 8.
Yeah, exactly.
And the duration varies. Some
Okay.
communities will tell you can only lease for a year.
Wow.
While some other communities, that amount is for 3 years, because they are aware when it comes to plantain farm.
Yeah.
Of course, you won't start
Of course.
harvesting until after a year, 6 months, or
Very
2
true.
years.
Very true.
So they will just give you a lease for 3 years.
Yeah.
So depend on the community.
Very true.
And depend on the crop you're investing in. You're investing in. If it's something like cassava,
Yeah.
they'll tell you it's a year. You
Okay.
can't rent more than a year for cassava, because they know after a year you should be harvesting your cassava.
So for example,
Yeah.
okay, let's not dive into that. Let's not, so that we do not shift our attention. That says something I think is very critical for anyone who wants to go into farming to consider first, which is the feasibility study.
Yep.
And this feasibility study, most farmers have failed to carry out this. So I say this over time, that people see agriculture as just tilling the soil and putting the seed.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not just
It's
that.
not just that.
Not just
People, that's the way people see.
that's
People,
what they
people see. People don't see agriculture. People don't see the business side of agriculture. Let me put it that way. The business side of agriculture. So they just feel that, it's for you to till the soil and put the seed, or probably get your fingerlings or your birds, stock them, and that's the end. So I think that it should be necessary, viewers, you can hear us. I think it is necessary that we consider the act of feasibility study. Yeah. A feasibility study is taking research on the agricultural practices you want to venture into. Yeah. So for example, if it is plantain farm, for example, so what we are doing right now is a feasibility study. What we are doing right now on the farm today, right now, is a feasibility study. So for example, now, you've heard that, number one, the finance implications, the cost implication must be considered. So you have that at the back of your mind. The number two, the land. And while we're talking about the land, there are several things you'll say. I want to ask a question, sir. Right. Sir, do we think farmers carry out soil tests? And is it essential?
God bless you, sir. very, very essential. That is incorporated into feasibility study. Because in feasibility study is quite diversified.
Yes, sir.
Soil analysis is very important, but very, very important, because it is not all kind of soil that is good for plantain, for example.
Yes, sir.
Locally, we because the cost of analysis
Okay.
is not easy to come.
So I think number one, the
So,
cost,
the cost of
the
analysis,
cost implication
cost
to carry
implication.
out the soil analysis.
Yeah, and two, to get a good soil analyst,
Mm.
to get a good soil analyst,
As accessibility
accessibility
to
to soil analyst,
okay.
is there. That problem is there. So because of that, most people just go into it. Locally, we
Side
do
C.
we side see, look at the vegetation and say, let me just try.
The land is
And,
the land is fertile.
thirdly,
Yeah.
the awareness. How
Aware.
many farmers know you really need to conduct a test, a soil
Mm.
test? Not many
Awareness.
of them. Not many
Aware.
of them.
And-
If you even tell them you have to do it, so they say, what am I doing that for?
Okay.
How is that necessary? They don't.
And then I think when you talked about the awareness, and now what that came into my mind was, okay, fine. I think the closeness to soil analyst expert to coming out of the lab and ensuring that they present their services to farmers. So, for example, we could leverage myself and a team of young people. We thought about an innovation, and I'm live on air, and let me just dish it out. Don't touch my idea. It's my idea. Okay, that we could also, through our mobile phone, we could also analyze soil.
All right.
So, for example, now, leveraging on what is called artificial intelligence, that's AI. So we could snap the soil, and while you snap the soil, it tells you the property of the soil. So immediately from your mobile phone, just heap the soil and just chill a little bit and snap. Immediately you snap, the property of the soil pops up on the screen and tells you, okay, fine, it's a sandy soil, it's a loamy soil, and tells you the property. So for example, this is an innovation that a friend is using in Cameroon, but he's using ease for the livestock farming. So what he needs to do is, once he gets to his poultry, he just snaps his bed. So once he snaps his bed, it tells him certain information about the beds and what he needs to do per time. So we are saying, okay, fine, we can also leverage on technology. So we're saying that in the aspect of the soil analysis, that we're saying that the cost implication has been one of the major problems. Also the accessibility, and then thirdly, the awareness of the farmers to the services of soil analysis. All right, we've talked about finance, land, soil analysis. What else again do we need to start the plantain farm?
God bless you. If I might come in there.
Yes, sir.
And basically, there's what is called in our culture what we call farm inputs.
Okay, farm inputs.
Farm inputs.
Yes, sir.
It's an extension of feasibility studies too.
Okay.
You have to know the source of your suckers.
The
source of your suckers.
Source of your sucker.
Yes, have to know the source, because obviously it's not all plantain varieties that are, productive.
True.
Some will give you very low yield.
Yeah.
So it is good you go to the farm,
Mm.
see the plantain yourself, see it producing, then before you can get your sucker from there.
Wow.
Then it all amount to cost anyway, because the suckers you are still going to buy.
Yes.
You are going to transport.
Okay, so Daddy, you said something that I need to go to the farm
Yes.
and then see
Yes.
the variety of the sucker
Yes.
before I buy. How about those people whose business is just to nurse the sucker, and they don't have already they don't have suckers, they don't have plantain farm that is standing. What they just do is they just raise a nursery of plantain suckers. How do I identify that, sir?
Or you as a beginner.
Okay.
You as a beginner.
Yes, sir.
Going to plantain nursery where you have suckers and buy from there is 50-50.
Wow.
It's 50-50. Because you find that some persons raising plantain suckers
Yeah.
at nursery level.
Yeah.
Some of them, not everybody per se,
Yeah.
they want to raise it for money.
Yes.
They want to sell.
True.
Then after sales, you the farmer, you face the consequence.
Of course, it's true.
Do you understand? So if you know you want to succeed, best for you, not best for you, visit a farm.
Visit a farm.
Yes.
You can hear visit the farm.
Yeah, visit the farm. That's what we call on the spot assessment.
On the spot assessment.
Like we are here now. You can see this plantain stand producing.
Yeah.
You understand?
See this.
You can see the bunches we have harvested.
Yeah.
You can see it. The bunches harvested from this farm. So it's not a matter of, because there are some plantain suckers that you will plant, it will produce just 2 fruits. Just 2 fruits like this.
Sir?
Yeah.
Just 2 fruits.
Wow.
Yes. You see, it will produce just 2 fruits.
And there are some that could produce over 80 fruits.
So
this.
80.
Yes.
So you
I have
to,
seen
you
that
have to
myself.
visit on the spot. And again, why I emphasize visit on the spot, you could have a plantain stand
Yes, sir.
producing 2 bunches
like this.
And if you have 1,000 stands producing 2 bunches,
that's 2,000.
That's 2,000. So on the spot assessment is very paramount.
Wow.
So that's what I have to say.
So that means we have to source for the suckers, and when we are sourcing for the suckers, especially for those who are just starting, they must ensure that they visit an existing farm.
Yeah.
And
get their suckers.
more so,
Okay, sir.
visit an existing farm and get in contact with somebody who has
practicing
been in the business.
Because there are so many secrets.
There are so many secrets. Because if we go deep down, even the planting, anyway, we'll get there.
Okay. All right, viewers, I want to believe we are enjoying the section, and for us, our goal is to ensure that we get agriculture right. And luckily enough for us, our father teaching us this morning is also an agricultural expert who also studied agriculture, economics, extension services. Coincidentally, I got to know this morning, and he brought in my very own good brother into the farming system. And so, how long have you been in farming?
4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years now. So that means that you can now see what it means to impact a generation. So that I want to say a very big thank you, big thank you. And also, sir, for at least accepting to be a prototype or an MVP that can also point at and say, no, I have raised farmers and I am raising farmers. So this is why this program is essential, titled Teach a Farmer. I want to reiterate that this program is designed for you who have interest to go into agriculture, and you've been asking questions, how do I go about it? Every Saturday, we're going to be moving from one farm to another to expose the cultural practice. At least for me, I've been learning. Expose the cultural practices that these people have imbibed on for a couple of years, and they've been successful, such that we can also discourage people who have been saying, no, agriculture is not a profitable business. No, it is a profitable business if you have the right information. For example, that said something now. It said that ensure that whenever you want to start, have a contact of someone who is practicing that business. Else,
not theoretically,
practically. Else, you will just live to tell the story how agriculture is not a profitable business. All right, so let's continue, sir. So we just talked about the farming input. So afterwards, the farming input, we've now gotten our sucker, we've gotten our land, we've opened the land, we've cleared the land. Okay, I want to ask a question. How much will it cost us to open 1 acre, to clear 1 acre? What are the ranges? 12,000.
Yes.
So 10.
That's what it is now.
12,000 to open an acre. So to clear an acre, depending on the location. I know people are watching me all around the country, all around the world, yes. But it's depending on your location. You could get someone to clear it for 8,000. Depending on, you could get someone to clear it for you 15,000. But depending on your location. But note that the cost implication will be minimal if one thing is considered before starting the business, which is feasibility study. If proper feasibility study is carried out, then you have a feasibility report.
Exactly.
As such, when you have a feasibility report, then that means you will have been able to cut costs on certain things to ensure that the cost implication for your business is what is feasible. All right, so let's move from there. So what about the planting, the spacing for planting?
Okay. Do I come in there?
Yes, sir.
The planting spacing is equally very, very important.
Okay.
Very, very important. Agriculture, we all know, mostly crop farming.
Yes, sir.
When you jam pack your crops, it's applicable to all crops. When you jam pack, it will be too crowded.
Yes.
And when it's crowded, mostly in plantain, you see them producing things, fruits very, very small. That's not marketable, of low market value. So the planting spacing is important. There are two types of planting, spacing. We have the row planting.
Okay.
We have the triangular planting.
Yes.
The row planting, the triangular planting. The row planting, with me as a farmer,
Yes,
I
sir.
practice triangular planting.
Why, sir?
Because it checks wind.
Mm.
It serves as windbreak. If you use row planting and you are unfortunate to be on heavy storm, heavy wind track, when one plantain falls, it will fall, the line will go like that.
Like seriously.
To the end. But if it's triangular, there is one here.
Yes, one here, there's one there. True.
So the wind will, the third one will act as windbreak. So that is that. Then for the spacing, you can see this now. Look at one here.
Yes, sir.
Look at one there.
Yeah.
This is about 8-10 feet.
Yes, very correct.
8-10
Sir,
feet.
please let me clap for that. Accurate.
That is that,
Accurate. That's the accurate.
Yeah.
I mean accurate. 8, 10 feet. 8. Very correct. Very correct. All right. So move away from the spacing. All right. So why we want to? But I have an observation, sir.
Yeah.
When you planted this farm, did you plant 2 suckers, 3 suckers at a go, or you planted just 1 sucker? But I can see at the base, I can see about 4, 5 suckers, 3 suckers. How come?
Yeah. Well, that is, even in the Bible.
Normal with planting.
Even in the Bible,
Yes, sir.
Adam and Eve started it all. But today,
It's an offspring.
it's another, there are offsprings everywhere,
Yes,
so
sir.
you can tell the story.
Yeah.
When you put one plantain sucker there
Yes, sir.
and it starts growing, after about 4, 5 months, 4, 5, 6 months,
Yeah.
you see it having offshoots
Wow.
from by the side. So as the first one is producing, small suckers are coming out from the surrounding.
Yes, sir.
Then, if you are a good agriculturist, that is where thinning comes in. Over time, if you allow these young suckers to grow for a long time, you will discover that the farm will be too crowded. And you have low productivity. So what you do, you remove some of the suckers and plant on new areas.
Go and transplant.
So in other ways, whether you like it or not, it's people that have no idea that will say agriculture is not beneficial.
Very true. Very
You
true.
understand? If you are cultivating, say, 5 acres, for example, and you know what you're doing,
Yes, sir.
your 5 acres in the next 2 years
Would
can
multiply
give
itself.
you multiply suckers that will cover another 5 acres.
Very correct, sir.
So what you're saying here, I started with less than 100 suckers.
Wow.
About 100. And today, if you take the camera around, you will tell the story.
Very true, because to be honest, why trying to give analysis of probably for an acre, they will tell you, okay, fine. I want to ask this question, sir. It varies. How many stands of plantain can we have on 1 acre?
Okay. It's not a matter of a book work. It's not a matter of theory. We talk
Practical.
Practical. What you have done, what you are still doing.
Yes, sir.
And what works for you.
And what works
For you.
Some persons will say, okay, an acre, I'll put 500.
Okay.
Some persons will say, I'll put 550. Because they want to get quick money on the short run. But on
Quick
the long
money
run,
on the short run.
on the long run, it will work against them.
Mm.
Basically, from my own experience, years of experience, use 450, 450 stands per acre,
Mm.
and you get maximum results. The bunches of the plantain will be big.
So that means, wow. I think it's necessary that we understand the need why expertise, experience is very key. If you want to doubt me, probably go online, visit Google, and ask questions. Sir, do you know that people go as far as giving analysis that you could have 900 suckers,
No, it's not true.
It's wrong.
900 stand on 1 acre?
It's
That's
wrong.
not true. That's wrong. To be
If
overcrowded.
you put 900, you are going to fail. What's the dimension of an acre? If you put 900, you are going to
That's
fail.
wrong.
People have analysis, and to be honest, they are consultants.
No, it's not true.
The only thing, listen, like I actually learned from him a long time ago.
Okay.
The issue with having that much
Yeah.
on 1 acre is,
Yeah.
like he rightly said now, it's getting quick money
In
on
the short run.
Yes. Now, if you have that 900 or close to on 1 acre,
Yeah.
yes, fine and good. With the level of spacing you have there,
Yeah.
you would only benefit that within the short run of
For the first
of,
1 year,
of one and a half year or
years.
2 years.
Okay.
Afterwards,
Nothing.
you can't survive in that farm
Okay.
because of why these offsprings that will be coming up.
So how about if the person now decides to say, okay, fine, if the offspring comes up, I'll take them off.
Good.
Okay,
And I want to
yes.
maintain my.
Let me come in there.
Okay, sir.
In agriculture, the little I know,
Yes, sir.
that is what we call plantain multiplication.
Okay.
If you want to go into plantain multiplication, you are not after the fruits to sell in the market. You
Okay.
can go ahead to plant 700, 900 in 1 acre,
Okay.
so that you have enough suckers to sell.
Okay.
Then, like you said, when the sucker is up, you remove.
Yes, sir.
When the sucker is off, you remove. When the sucker is up, you remove. Mind you, my brother, there is another danger.
Okay.
What is the danger? You will be overexposing
Yeah.
the main stand,
Yeah. The parent.
the parent
The
stand,
parent stock.
to the upper soil.
True.
Do you understand?
True.
And there must be a natural disaster like
Of
wind.
course.
And when it blows, it goes. So I don't believe, I by the grace of God, we have good knowledge in our culture,
Yeah.
practically and theoretically. You put 900 suckers in an acre,
Yes, sir.
believe you me, I tell you, it will be difficult for you to feed your family because nothing for you to sell.
Oh, so let's start. I think it's time. Let's go into the business side of the farming. We talked about the practices, and thus far it has been interesting. Let's talk about the business side. The business side. How do we sell the plantain? How do we sell the plantain in the market? So, for example, I have 1 acre, for example, and I practice 450 to 500 stand, for example, on 1 acre. How do I sell?
Good.
They are due for harvest.
Due for harvest,
Yes, sir.
you harvest. How do you sell?
Yes, sir.
Marketing is not difficult.
It's
Very easy. Especially plantain.
Plantain, yeah.
There are 2 types of marketing.
Okay.
You have what is called farm gate marketing.
Okay.
Farm gate marketing. Your own is to harvest, heap it somewhere in your farm, and buyers will come and buy on the spot.
Of course, you have to invite them.
You will invite them,
Okay.
they buy on the spot, they take it away at their own expense.
Transportation.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Another way, another type of marketing, you harvest, you have your own vehicle, or you rent,
And take it to the market.
you take it to the market yourself and sell. Market is everywhere. whether in town
So how is this? So do I sell? Am I selling 1 bunch, or how is this sold? Okay.
Good. I get you now.
Okay, sir.
You, as a farmer,
Yes, sir.
you don't sell per bunch.
Okay.
because you are the wholesaler.
Yes, sir.
You don't sell per bunch. You sell per heap,
Dozen.
dozen. And 12 gives you 1 dozen.
1 dozen. True.
So you sell per dozen. And those people, we have what is called middlemen.
True.
The middleman will buy from you who is the producer. Then they will in turn sell in retail to the consumer.
Very true.
So
Very
that's
true.
it.
So we sell in dozen.
In dozens, yeah.
Okay.
And that's so because that's what
You can continue. You can continue.
that's so because that's what you get around this area. There are some other places where they don't sell it like that. They don't trade it like that per dozen. You get they just bring it out from the market and they put it they bring it out from the farm,
Okay.
bring it to the market, and you come there and buy in single, one, in a bunch,
Yeah.
or they just heap it down and you price and then you sell. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
So that's how it goes.
Okay, so if we're selling in dozen, how much is a dozen? What's the variation?
Okay. I think it's difficult to give a straight answer because the season, the time and season affects the price.
Okay, time and season
Time
affected.
and season affects the price. In times of scarcity, when I mean scarcity, low productivity, low
Yes, sir.
production,
Yes, sir.
probably because of weather factor.
Yeah.
Weather factor, okay?
Yes, sir.
In times of scarcity, it doesn't could go for the range of 10 to 15,000
Jesus.
Or even more.
or even more, depending
even
on
more.
the location.
The location,
Wow.
yeah. Or
If
even
you take to
more.
like states, distant states where they don't have plantain, you sell
Yeah,
more.
You sell more.
But here, predominantly, the times of scarcity between 10, 15,000.
Hmm.
Yes.
So,
Then-
let's say in scarcity, let's work with 12,000.
Okay.
In time, since it's between 10, 15.
Then
It's a range. Do you
No.
know why? Do you know why he's giving you that range between 10 to 15,000?
Yeah.
Depend on the size
On
of
the
the
size of
plantain
the
we're talking about.
plantains,
Yes.
bunches.
You will not sell plantain with a bunch of say about 50
Yeah.
or 100
Yeah.
with the one where you'll be getting less than 10, 20. You will not sell
Yeah,
them
very-
at the same price.
very
Exactly.
true.
So that's why we
Range-
have a
range-
range.
range of
That's why we have that as a range
Range,
within
yes.
10,000
Up
to
to
15 or even more.
So for us to get our analysis right, we must work with numbers.
Yes. And
So
also,
that's why I'm saying, okay, fine. Let's just assume that we have a set of bunch
okay.
that could give us 12,000 naira
Yes.
for a dozen.
Yes.
Okay.
You get the point, sir?
Yeah.
So let's assume we have a set of bunch that could give us 12,000 naira for a dozen, since we have the range between 10 to 15,000 naira.
Okay, I get you right.
You get my point,
Then
sir?
that is for scarce. Those
Yes.
scarcity.
Scarce period.
And even that scarce period, sometimes you can get some plantain for 7,000 naira as well.
It depends on that you have said it. That's the size.
The size, yeah.
They haven't said that.
Yes, sir.
Haven't said that. At time of bountiful harvest,
Okay.
yes, favorable weather, good rain, good sunshine, and all that. It doesn't here locally
Yes, sir.
ranges from even good dozens at times 6,000, 5,000,
Wow.
6,000,
Even
5,000, at times 4.
Wow.
Yes, good dozens. You can get good dozens in the market, in our local market, for 5,000. What I mean by good, heavy ones.
Yes, sir.
Where all farmers harvest and they bring it and all that.
Wow.
So,
Quite interesting.
you can even get some very thin dozens of, with a very minimum fruits. Put together, a dozen could give you 2,000.
3,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
3,000.
That's all that.
2,500. Yeah.
So I think what you just said now has exposed me to understanding farming season.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
let's work with our analysis right now. If, for example, we planted 450 stand, you get the point, sir,
Okay.
on 1 acre,
Okay.
and we want to sell in dozens,
Okay.
and we agree that a dozen is 12 bunches,
All right.
correct? So if we do the statistics and we analyze, okay, fine, 450 divided by 12, we automatically have 37.5,
Okay.
approximately 38.
Okay.
So if because you know when you were teaching the other time, you talked about the essence of ensuring that the right practices is carried out, and one of those right practices is the plant observing the right planting spacing and not overcrowding the farm. And since we have practiced that, we are within our mind, we are expecting to have a bunch that would yield a better result, a better fruit. All right, good, sir. Now that we now do that, and we have also considered the planting season, to ensure that we are approaching the scarcity period.
All right.
So you're getting the statistic
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
We are approaching the scarcity period. Two things happen now. If the ranges of the dozen will be selling ranges between 10 to 15,000, let's settle for 12,000.
Right.
Let's settle for 12,000. And don't forget that when we divided 450 divided by 12, it gave us 37.5, approximately 38.
Yes. Yeah.
When we multiply 38 dozens by 12,000, we had 456,000 naira.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Amen,
Can I come in there?
Yes, sir.
I will observe you. This is where most educated agriculturists fail in real farm practice.
Wow.
They sit down at home there, do the analysis, like we have just discussed now.
Yes, sir.
Or we are discussing.
Yes, sir.
You have calculated how much you get per dozen.
Yes, sir.
And you have arrived at something very large.
Yes, sir.
Glory be to God. Now, a lot of factors come into play.
Such as
clearing, weeding at the appropriate time.
Weeding at the appropriate
time. Even when you observe, you practice good spacing, you have done your soil analysis, and you don't weed, you have done your planting, then you don't weed at the appropriate time. What do I mean by appropriate time? You see this, this plantain, small plantain sucker, for example.
Yeah.
Weeds must not touch the underneath of the leaves. Once weeds start touching the underneath and probably start growing the leaves.
Yes, sir.
There's what is called stunted growth.
True.
And stunted growth will give you stunted production.
Correct.
Take it or you leave it. I am going to your analysis. At the end of the day, that 300 and 400 something thousand,
456.
You will not get it.
Okay. Because the right cultural practices was not observed.
So, again, another factor where you will not get that result outrightly. Look at the plantain farm now.
Yes, sir.
Look at this stand.
Okay.
Look at this stand.
Yes, sir.
Are they all producing at the same time?
No. I was going there.
They will not.
I was going there.
They are not all producing at the same time.
I was going there.
By the time you do your calculation like that, you will fail.
I was going there.
So you find that, look at the fingers. All fingers are not equal. One would grow, even when you plant 400 suckers one day.
Yes, sir.
Under all things being equal, under the same condition. 400 suckers. Take it or leave it. You do your normal clearing, normal weeding everywhere is neat, like this farm now. It's fairly okay. They will not all produce at the same time.
Yes. True.
They will not.
Then you ask me a question here. Okay. That is where I talk of practice. Practice agriculture. If you plant 1 acre.
Yes, sir.
I used to tell people, because I have practiced it, I have seen it. What range will produce will give you first production? What number?
Hey, so this is the solution.
Then what range will give you second production? Second
harvest. Second season. Okay.
So in the first season, from 1 acre,
yes, sir.
Once you plant the same time, with good condition, with good cultural practices, with good spraying and whatever,
yes, sir,
you will not get from 450. You will not get more than. You will not harvest more than 100.
Wow.
For the
first harvest.
Because they are going to start production sparingly.
Yeah.
One is here. Oh, that one has produced. Is strong. That one is strong. That one is.
They will not be intimidating others.
So, but your second harvest, that's the second month.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you should, if you want to have a good market, value the plantain, you harvest monthly. Don't harvest 3 weeks. Some harvest 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's not always good. Harvest monthly. So, like we're saying, your second harvest, if you harvested 100%,
Yeah.
the second harvest will give you more than about 150, 200. It will give you good number. Let me put it so.
Okay.
You start having good number, your second harvest, your
Yeah.
third harvest, your fourth harvest.
Yeah.
That is where you start working towards that your million 480 and 300.
All right. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, and I said you would only realize that I think after 2 years and a few months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Interesting.
when you start harvesting to the capacity of that farm.
So, viewers, I think we are all enjoying the section. For me, I'm enjoying the section. Like, to be honest, I'm enjoying the section. The program runs every Saturday. Teach a farmer. So, if even upon all that I've learned in school, to be honest, so many things have been unveiled to me right here on the farm. More importantly, the financial aspect. This is where you just go online or you consult a consultant, and the consultant just tell you if you invest this is what will just come out. And no, that's not true. The point here is we must understand that there are approaches to arriving at the finances or the profit that we are expecting. The profit we are expecting, because when I sat down, I did the analysis as well, and I said to myself, no, that the plantain will not all produce at the same time. So how do we now ensure? So I think, sir, what it is very necessary that we also have to present before farmers is to understand the part of book record keeping. To understand the part of book record keeping, so that when you harvest for example, the first 100, you ensure that there is a proper record keeping. A proper record keeping.
For self-evaluation.
Thank you, sir. For self-evaluation. So that at the end of the day, you'll be able to arrive at, okay, fine, this business was profitable or not. And also, I like to chip in this, that farmers must also understand the difference between break-even period and return on investment. The farmer must understand the difference between break-even period and also what is called the return on investment. No problem, return on investment. So it's very essential for us as young people, especially young people who are watching me. I know so many people who wrote me on my DM, oh, Victor, I like to go into farming, plantain farm. It was because of you I came for this section, and we are enjoying ourselves this morning. I want to appreciate Mr. Nicholas for this time giving to us, to having this section. And it has been a laudable moment learning from the field. Sorry, I have to do this. Sorry. All right, someone was trying to call me. Don't call me, okay? All right. Someone just said I should inbox him. All right, I'm going to inbox you. Thank you. I just saw that piece. I'm going to inbox you afterwards. All right. So thank you so very much, and God bless you. If you need any other information as far as plantain farming is concerned, kindly contact us. And trust me, sir, we would also open a section. As far as you're in Benin, I am going to hold my two fathers here. I'm going to hold them responsible, such that if anybody wants to go into the farming, that's plantain farming, and they want to intern, probably want to come and spend 1 month to work with you on the farm, to know whatever you're doing, I would probably plead that we accept this proposal, sir.
Very, very
No
valuable.
problem.
All right, so you've heard that we have the opportunity to learn from experienced farmers on the field who are doing a whole lot as far as plantation is concerned. Thank you so very much, sir, for this rare privilege, and I will so much appreciate. And trust me, soon again we'll be back to also expose ourselves to best practices within this space. Please help us share this video so that someone else can also learn from what you've learned from. Don't forget, next week Saturday again, we will be live on our maiden program titled Teach a Farmer. Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless you.